Good morning, Discovery. We see the tip.
Oh, good morning, Houston. I guess surf's up.
That's for sure, Mike. Are you and Bernard ready for your big day out?
Oh, is this the day?
We don't believe that. Go ahead, Wex.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Roger that. We'll pass it along.
It's our hometown. A clear day in New York. Mario, there's your old stomping ground, Yankee Stadium.
I used to work there. And if you look up the hill a little bit, there's the school.
I could go for one of those dogs right now with hot mustard.
Okay, we'll send out.
Houston, we're working the multi-G2 GNC apps.
Copy. And Discovery Houston, it's handover down here in handover time down here in the control center. Rob and Mark will take it from here. Paul and I have had a pleasure putting their things together. Have a great time, enjoy the view outside, and heads up, watch out for that first step. It's a long one.
And Mario and the Iron people, thanks a lot again for watching over our shoulders, and we'll see if we can chase down this long, deep drive into center field Yankee Stadium, and we'll see if Janice can catch it. And then we'll let the boys of summer go out and play.
Roger that. And if Mickey hit it, I doubt anyone could get it.
Harris and Fuller are currently going through checkouts of their spacesuits to ensure that they're in good working order before they begin a pre-breathe again of pure oxygen that will last 4 hours.
For begin push clock.
And we copy, Volodya.
This view showing Mike Full suited up in the airlock, and Bernard Harris. This view showing the Spartan satellite as Discovery closes in to capture the satellite using the mechanical arm. Discovery is currently 210 nautical miles, about 240 statute miles above the Pacific Ocean in the islands of Indonesia, just west of New Guinea. In view at the bottom of the Spartan satellite is the grapple fixture, the fixture upon which the arm will be placed to capture the satellite.
And Discovery Houston, outstanding work on the rendezvous and the grapple, one of the best we've seen so far. And you've really shown your versatility with rendezvousing with a large space station, and then later on in the week rendezvousing with a small spacecraft and capturing it. For EVA, Mike and Bernard, you've been hanging around for long enough doing nothing. It's time to go out and do some work. You have a go for the airlock depress.
Go ahead, Discovery.
The image I have in the berthing camera would say this berth is not going to be aligned properly, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it straight down because Posh is holding it right on the nose. We'll just see if this works. If it gets stuck, we'll readjust from there.
Copy, Janice. It looks good. We're about a minute to a Tater's handover. It'll be an extended handover. We'll be LOS for 3 to 4 minutes.
And Mission Specialist Janice Voss is in the process of being very close to berthing and latching the Spartan spacecraft.
Well done, John. Copy, Janice. Wonderful. Russian rock worked one more time.
Mike Foll and Bernard Harris are outside the tunnel adapter. This particular tunnel adapter is used to connect the crew cabin to the Space Hab module. It has a hatch on the top of the tunnel to allow access out into the payload bay. The two crew members who are doing the spacewalk today are Bernard Harris and Michael Foale. They are outside in the payload bay, as is visible from this view from the elbow camera. However, from this particular vantage point, it is difficult to see which crew member has stripes on their legs, so it's difficult to say which one of the spacewalkers is which. This is Mission Control Houston. The crew members are in the process of setting up their equipment in the payload bay for their 4.5-hour spacewalk.
You can come on down.
Mission Specialist Mike Foale is the individual with the stripes on the legs of his spacesuit, and Bernard Harris is the one that is currently getting something from the tunnel adapter.
We all see down in here? Oh. That's a good motion. Continue that. Oh, okay. Look, Michael. The whole thing's rolling. We need the end effector roll, don't we? Just a pure roll. We need to get the striker plate set up. End effector roll? Yeah, just the end effector. Just the end effector, yeah. That's good. Keep it coming. Continue.
Discovery, 1.5 minutes to a Tidris LOS. Pick you up at 7 hours, 22 minutes.
Roger.
Once again, Mike Foale is EV1 and is wearing red stripes on the legs of his spacesuit, and Bernard Harris is EV2.
Okay, Eileen, I'm on my way.
Okay.
Where are we now, Eileen, over the world?
Houston Discovery for TCS.
Go ahead for TCS.
I attempted to execute the shutdown macro in step 1, and I got the message, standby not entered, click OK to acknowledge and run shutdown again, which I did, and got the same message.
Mission Specialist Mike Foale has completed installing the large handling tool on the Spartan spacecraft. He will now go to a point where he will be able to ingress the portable foot restraint on the end of the robot arm. Bernard Harris is currently installing a small handling tool on the other side of Spartan. This spacewalk has been going on for a little bit more than an hour. It began at 5:56 a.m. Central Time. Mission Specialist Bernard Harris is now in the process of getting his feet set in the portable foot restraint that has been attached to the end of the robot arm. Once he gets set in, Mission Specialist Mike Foale will
Okay, Bernard, I copy. You're in the PFR.
will get set and get in his position on the end of the robot arm so that Vladimir Titov can bring that arm up and we can begin our thermal evaluation.
Bernard.
This is Bernard, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right waist head of Bernard.
Okay, my right is attached to his mini workstation. Yours cranked up. Okay. I got you. Let go.
And Bernard, do you have Mike now?
I've got it.
Okay, sounds good. Are you guys ready for the arm to move?
We're ready.
Okay, stand by. We're going to set up for the maneuver out of the bay.
Oh, that's a big dipper on there. But interesting, hanging off the side of the orbiter like this. I know. Michael Bernard, are you ready to move into thermal elevation position? I'm ready. I am too. Okay, we are start.
Yeah.
Mission Specialist Vladimir Titov will now maneuver the robot arm to a position where the two spacewalking astronauts are well above the payload bay.
Keeping for use. Yes.
This will put them in an environment that is as cold as possible. One of the reasons we're doing this outside the payload bay is that even during the shaded portions of the orbit, the heat that is radiated around the payload bay can help keep astronauts very warm.
As long as you're attached to the...
Part of the reason that we're doing this thermal evaluation is because on exercises such as the assembly of the space station, there will be times when the astronauts do not work in an environment where there's a lot of radiated heat. As a result, we need to make these suits as warm as possible so that when they work in these shadowed areas or the areas where there's no radiated heat, that they can keep warm and their hands can keep from stiffening up. The attitude for this particular portion of the spacewalk has the payload bay, has the belly of the orbiter pointing towards the sun at all times. That is an inertial attitude in which during the daylight passes, which Discovery is now crossing a terminator, the payload bay is pointed towards the Earth. However, on night passes, because of this inertial attitude, and since the belly always points toward the sun, the payload bay points towards deep space.
Discovery for Velocia.
Hey, don't wiggle too much. Yeah, we're off there. I'm using a 250. My gate is wrong, it's frozen. I thought so, Jim. That seemed too high.
While Bernard Harris and Mike Foale remain in this position for the next 15 or so minutes, they will be doing a minor, small evaluation of a piece of hardware that they actually wear on their wrist called the electronic cuff checklist. This electronic device takes the place of the paper checklist that used to be flown and sometimes still is flown on spacewalks.
Oh yeah, full view. Go out for a bit. And move the Nikon. Oh yeah.
Throughout all of these spacewalk activities, both Harris and Foale are tethered to different parts of the shuttle and to each other. Right now, Harris is the individual in the portable foot restraint. He is EV2 for this activity. And Mike Foale, the individual with the red stripes on his spacesuit, is EV1. He is tethered to the end of the robot arm and to Harris.
Jim, could you meet to VS for a second about, what does Spock say? F8, probably.
And maybe, Bernard, with your feet against the hardware,
Yeah.
you might have some thermal transfer.
I think that's probably what's happening, because rather than have the inserts, I've got the 3 pairs of socks. Are we moving? Yeah. Possibly. I'm trying to guess where we are right now. crossed over a big mountain range. Let's try your electronic cuff checklist again. See if it's warmed up. Yeah, after I get you down, because I got to hold on to you. You don't want to be a dog like, do you? No, sir. And Houston, for EV1, the electronic cuff checklist is exhibiting the same behavior as before in the cold attitude.
The International Space Station is a cooperative effort among a number of organizations around the world. The partners include NASA, the European Space Agency, which has 13 member countries, the Canadian Space Agency, the Japan Space Agency, known as NASDA, and also the Russian Space Agency.
It's Bernard will be disconnecting waste tether from your mini workstation, and after that, Bernard, you egress the pad.
Okay.
Mike Full and Bernard Harris are now in the positions they will be for our mass handling activities, or at least for the first part of our mass handling activities. Full is on the end of the robot arm, and Harris is positioned on the carrying rack for the Spartan satellite just to the port side of the Spartan satellite. Spartan satellite itself for this particular activity is a passive satellite. It's not taking any measurements. It's not doing anything except acting like a large mass. This exercise is a very important exercise due to the fact that a lot of the assembly sequences for the International Space Station will include activities where the astronauts have to handle large masses. This is somewhat easier in space than it is on Earth, since they're in a weightless environment, so that weight is not a problem. But controlling a large mass in the microgravity environment of space can sometimes give you a few surprises. By performing these type of exercises, we will gradually increase our knowledge base, and that information will be used to fine-tune our procedures that will be used for future shuttle EVAs and, of course, for the spacewalks for the International Space Station.
Really beautiful. Continue. Continue. Stop, Lydia. And please bring me in towards Spartan, 1 foot.
Okay, start.
Continue. Continue. Continue a bit more, please. Continue. 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 Stop.
Not hurry.
That's good.
Okay, stopped or a little bit more?
That's fine as it is.
It's fine, okay.
Okay? This is a good position for me.
Okay.
Okay, Mike, at this point, we'd like you to grab the handling tool and let us know again about how your hands are, warm or cold or what.
My hands are warm at this time.
Okay.
5 probably.
Okay, let me know when you got a good grasp on Spartan, because the next action is the Spartan unlatch.
Okay, I have a good grasp of Spartan.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Janice here for the unlatch. 3, 2, 1, release.
Go to release, Michael.
I see it moving.
Be careful. The Spartan is clear.
It's released.
Be careful.
And Bernard, I felt the springs push up on it. Yep. I have tipped up on this end, Mike. Okay. I'm going to lift it out of the guides very slowly. How high am I in the guides on that side? You're 2 inches above the guides on this side and seem to be tipped toward me.
That's correct, Mike. You're a little bit lower on your side and higher on Bernard's side.
Okay.
Discovery.
Okay, you're coming up.
Unfortunately, we're a minute and a half to a Tetris LOS. Get you back at 9 hours and 5 minutes.
Roger.
Okay, Bernard, I have a good hold of Spartan.
Okay. Mike, maybe could you bring it up just a little bit more? I want to make sure that I see clearance from the guides through the satellite.
Okay, how about that?
Okay, that looks real good. We've got over a foot.
All right. That's good. Well, this is different from the sim because it is more toward you and I can't reach it. Okay, I'm going to bring it toward you. I don't think you have the reach. I'm still a good foot away. So I would say that we'd have to move you. I can go quite a long way, Bernard. Ben? How's that?
Michael, I can move you.
I think it's better to move. So why don't you square up, Mike? Okay, I'll square up. Looks like it's pitched up toward me. Can you control it? I am controlling it. Okay.
Okay, Bernard.
Feel it pitching again, down. That was really slow. I'll let it damp out.
Yeah, Bernard, you got about a foot of clearance on the forward portion.
Okay.
And it's coming up looking good.
Okay. Okay, Eileen, I'm going to stop the translation right there. Position causes a pitch up or down, and you have to go very slowly. Still tends to pitch. I would say that it would be about a B or even a B minus in the rating.
Okay, thanks. And the next is rotations.
Okay. Just going to try to rotate it. Very slowly.
Discovery, we're back with you on Tetris West.
Good. Having the handling tool in the center of Spartan really helps in the rotation.
Mission Specialist Bernard Harris is in the process of performing a number of different exercises using a small handling tool in the center
Discovery,
of
got
the
you back
Spartan
on Tetris
spacecraft.
West, and a good picture.
Okay, are you looking at the A camera?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
These activities include different motions such as rotations, translations, how easy it is to start and stop motion with this mass, and Harris will be providing throughout all these procedures his comments of how easily and how easy it is or how difficult it is to perform these different activities.
All right, a little bit.
After he's complete, he will hand the Spartan to Mike Foll, who will make similar judgments from the end of the robot arm.
Okay, copy 3. Stand by.
Although there's no rush on that. It's only when I put my fingers into the glove, into the tips. If I pull my fingers back, I can basically keep them above that level. But when my fingers are on the tip, I'm going to get very rapidly cold in my fingers. So they'll be numb.
Okay, Mike, let me know if you want to change your rating from a 3 to something else. If you want to leave it at a 3.
I want to leave it at a 3 because I can't do work with my hands like this.
Okay, copy.
Arrange, shall I hold what I'm doing?
No, you can continue. We're going to set up here in the cockpit. Just, you can continue for now, Bernard.
Okay. And Arlene, basically there's no immediacy to this. It's just that I know that when I start grasping with my hands, they will get very rapidly cold because of the fingertips. It's the glove fingertips that are really cold, not so much my own fingers.
Okay, Mike. We're going to set up for a maneuver here in the cockpit, and we'll let you know when we're ready.
Okay.
And Bernard, let me know when you're done with your rotations. The only thing left is for you to make comments on field of view and range of motion.
I have to do the yaw, but I don't want to do that if you guys are maneuvering.
We'll let you know when we're ready to start.
Okay. I kind of feel like I'm pitching. Mike, can you tell? You are. You need to pitch it up. Very slow. That's good. You have a good rate there. Just try and keep that. And if you want to pause it there, that's horizontal. Okay. Yeah, that's great control. Okay, now I'm going to try yawing. Very nice control, Bernard. I like it. It looks like you can stop it at any moment if you needed to, right? I can, but when you take a feel of this, you'll see. Stop it. It has to be very slow, or it induces a rotation or a pitch. More than what we were doing on the air-bearing floor. Oh, that's interesting. They're sure making it look easy. Doesn't feel easy. How much force are you putting in through your fingers? Not very much. Yeah, about like we did on the air-bearing floor. Yep. 1 or 2 pounds. Yep.
Houston Discovery.
Go ahead, Eileen.
In the cockpit, we're going to set up for Block 1 on page 7-7. And we're going to set up for a target ID of 2, body vector 3, and if you have a specified Omicron, we'll take it from you.
Stand by 1.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are now 2 hours and 38 minutes into today's spacewalk with Mike Foale and Bernard Harris. Right now, Harris is in the process of performing some exercises with the port small handling tool on the Spartan spacecraft. This is part of an overall assessment of how easy it is to handle large masses on orbit. Throughout the procedures for this mass handling activity, the crew members have made some observations and some comparisons to their training here on the ground. The training for spacewalks are done in a couple of different environments. There's a large water tank which has a lot of this training done in it. There's also some virtual reality systems that are being employed now for crew members training to do spacewalks, and there's also advice in an area called the air-bearing floor, which gives somewhat some of the sensation of floating to different large masses. Harris and Foale have both commented on differences that they've seen. Some of those differences have been a lot, or some of those activities have been a lot easier in space than they were in the pool or in virtual reality, and some of them are very similar. This information, along with any information that the crew may provide about handling these large masses, and from the thermal evaluation about how well the improvements on the suits will be taken very seriously by planners here on the ground as they prepare for future spacewalks and for spacewalks on the International Space Station.
Why you're starting the maneuver?
We're going to start the maneuver to the recovery attitude, block 1, page 7-7, due to the evaluation of a 3 by the EV crew members.
And, am I pitched, Mike? Very, very slightly. Pitch it up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay. Looks like I'm going too much.
You can go ahead and maneuver, Eileen.
Story is A7, okay. Eileen, my hands are 3, and my feet are less than 3.
Okay, copy that.
Houston, copy.
The problem is, do you want me to come back there? Well, let me think. Well, it's in between your legs, so you need to come. Can you reach your tether? Just reach on your right side and pull it through. Okay. You reach down on your right side and get your... Oh, that's good. Lift your... That's it, right? Yeah, yep, that's it. That's good. Okay, Blodia.
I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Good. All right. Please bring the RMS a little bit forward in the bay, Blodia.
One second. Forward?
Yes, forward.
Starboard.
Forward about 1 foot first, please.
Okay.
You say it recovered, sir?
It hasn't completely recovered, but it came back into the state that it was when I reported the first malfunction with it. And that is the right 2 squares do not respond, but the rest of it seems to work.
Understand, thank you.